In this video, we will be discussing the three branches of government. What is the three branches of government? First, we have the executive. Second, we have the legislative. And lastly, we have the judicial.
The executive branch vests a executive power on the President of the Philippines. The President is the head of state and head of government, and functions as the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. As Chief Executive, the President exercises control over all executive departments, bureaus, and offices. The qualifications to become a president are naturally born Filipino, a registered voter, must be able to read and write, 40 years of age and at the day of election, and must be resided in the Philippines 10 years before election. Vice President of the Philippines is elected by direct vote by the people for a term of 6 years and may run for re-election once. The qualifications are the same as with the presidents of the Philippines. According to 1987 Philippine Constitution, Article 7, Section 16, the President may appoint anyone to executive departments with the consent of Commission on Appointments. Names of individual nominated to cabinet posts are submitted to the Commission on Appointments for their consideration. The following posts that the President can appoint on his cabinet are Executive Secretary, Secretary of Agrarian Reform, Secretary of Agriculture, Secretary of Budget and Management, Secretary of Education, Secretary of Energy, Secretary of Environment and Natural Resources, Secretary of Finance, Secretary of Foreign Affairs, Secretary of Health, Secretary of Justice, Secretary of Labor and Employment, Secretary of National Defense, Secretary of Public Works and Highways, Secretary of Science and Technology, Secretary of Social Welfare and Development, Secretary of the Inferior Local Government, Secretary of Trade and Industry, Secretary of Transportation and Communications, Secretary of Tourism, Commission and Higher Education, Director of the National Economic and Development Authority.
A legislative department or branch shall be vested in the Congress of the Philippines, which consists of a House of Representatives and the Senate. The Senate are composed of 24 senators, while the House of Representatives are composed of not more than 250, 20% of whom must be party list representatives. The qualifications to become a senator are a natural-born citizen of the Philippines, at least 25 years old, able to read and write, a registered voter, and a resident of the Philippines for not less than 2 years before the election day. As for the member of the House of Representatives, there are qualifications. It must be a natural-born citizen of the Philippines, at least 25 years old, able to read and write, and except for the party list representatives, a registered voter and a resident for at least 1 year in the district where he or she shall be elected. In the legislative process, Congress is the one who is responsible for making and enabling laws to make sure the spirit of the election is upheld in the country and at times amend or change the Constitution. In order to make laws, the legislative body come out with two documents, the bills and the resolutions. Resolutions convey principles and sentiments of the Senate or the House of Representatives. There are resolutions that is divided into three different elements. The joint resolutions requires the approval of both chambers of Congress and the signature of the President of the Philippines and have the force and effect of a law if approved. The concurred resolutions are used for matters affecting the operations of both chambers of Congress and must be approved at the same form by both houses but are not transmitted to the President of the Philippines for his signature. The simple resolutions, it deals with the matters entirely within the prerogative of one chamber of Congress and are not referred to the President of the Philippines for his signature and therefore have no force and effect of a law. On the other hand, the bills are laws in the making. They pass into law when they are approved by both houses and the President of the Philippines. A bill may be vetoed by the President, but the House of Representatives may overturn a presidential veto by garnering a two-thirds vote. If the President does not allow a proposed law submitted by Congress, it will lapse into law after 30 days of receipt.
Judicial pertains to the legal system, courts, and the administration of justice. It involves the branch of government responsible for interpreting and applying the law, resolving legal disputes, and ensuring justice is served. The judicial system plays a crucial role in maintaining order in society and upholding the rule of law. The judicial branch, in conjunction with the legislative and executive branches, forms and foundation of country's legal and governmental system. It is responsible interpreting and upholding the law, ensuring that justice is served, and protecting the rights of individuals and society as a whole.
The key difference between those three branches was the executive branch is composed of the president and the vice president who are elected by direct popular vote and serve as a term of 6 years. The Constitution grants the president authority to appoint his cabinet. These departments form a large portion of the country's bureaucracy. The legislative branch is authorized to make laws, alter, repeal them through the power vested in the Philippine Congress. The institution is divided into the Senate and the House of Representatives. The judicial branch holds the power to settle controversies involving the rights that are legally demandable and enforceable. This branch determines whether or not there has been a grave abuse of discretion amounting to lack of excess jurisdiction on the part and the instrumentality of the government. It is made up of Supreme Court and the lower courts.